Hi there. I'm Nathan Mullo. I'm a real estate expert, and this is part three in the three-part series about who can help you with your problem if you're a distressed homeowner. So, this one is about investors. There's lots of investors out there, so let's get into it. It's very easy for someone to come to you and say they're an investor and sign a contract. It's very easy to sign a contract. The problem is people that are in distress situations with their mortgages, foreclosure, probate, whatever it is, you have a complicated transaction. And the question is, who's going to run that transaction? Who has the expertise to get through it from point A to point B? When you ask that question, if the person in front of you is telling us, well, we can handle it, or the group can handle it, they're literally telling you that that person in front of you is admitting they don't know what they're doing. Right there, you should have a lot of caution because you're about to buy a car that has no engine. And the last thing you should be doing is sign a contract with someone that doesn't know what they're doing. So who's the mystery person that's going to help you? You don't know, and usually you never find out. Because even behind that person, there's someone else that probably doesn't know what they're doing either. Just bad on bad. Well, that's not good. So just be wary about that. The next thing you should be asking yourself is, does that person standing in front of you, that investor, have any money? You're standing there assuming, well, they say they're an investor. You're assuming they have money. Well, it's very likely they don't have any money. They're just optimistic about something and then they're trying to tie you up and then they're going to turn around and try to figure out how to make it all happen. Well, what you should be asking for before you go signing a contract with a mystery person you have no idea what their track record is, well, ask for proof of funds. Because even with a short sale, you got to turn in the contract and proof of funds, proof that the buyer can actually buy. And with a lot of these investors, what you end up finding is they hand you a line of credit letter, not from a bank, from some private company or person that says, oh, he's got a line of credit with us. Oh, that's nice. Well, how do you know that other party has any money? It's very easy to jump on a computer and fake a letter and say, oh, he's got $1 million line of credit. Great. But is it real? I'm here to tell you, after 27 years of working as an investor, it's a bogus letter. Yeah, oof, gosh. A lot of people in the industry are not going to be happy with me, but it is what it is. So what they do is they type up this little letter, makes it look like a line of credit letter, but line of credits don't work like that. If you have a bank line of credit, that's a whole different story. You can go there and withdraw the money from the bank and put it in your account, and that works. When they're getting a line of credit from some other investment company, something like that, it's never a line of credit. It's a lie. Okay? Oh boy, a lot of people are going to not be happy with me, but it's a lie. Okay? So let's say that investor is going to buy any type of property, right? Okay. They call their hard money lender, and the hard money lender is going to require them to fill out an application. Think about that. They're showing you a line of credit letter, and they haven't even filled out an application yet. So eventually, if they were to buy, they still have to fill out the application. And then the hard money lender sends out an appraiser to figure out what the value and condition of the property is. And then whatever that is, they lend a percentage of that value. Okay? So that could be 60%, 70%. If they're lucky, it could be 80%. Well, if you do the math and they're buying a $300,000 property and they're supposed to put 20% down, you're like looking at $60,000. Plus, they need some money for repairs and monthly payments and holding costs. All of a sudden, that person standing that you like standing there in front of you, they need like $80,000 minimum in their bank account. Well, I guarantee you, most of those people don't have $80,000 in their bank account. They're lucky if they have $2,000 in their bank account. So no matter what they're doing, that concept is not going to work out. That's like a big shocker to a lot of homeowners, I know. But most of the people approaching you actually don't have any money. So, and be careful with bogus bank statements too, because it's very easy to Photoshop those things. Just giving the inside work, I'm trying to get you to raise your guard because a lot of you are walking into these ambushes and stuck, and you end up getting foreclosed. And I, I got to tell you so that at least you have your guard up, please. All right. So, why do I get concerned about this stuff? Because a while back I had done a study of what happened with a lot of people that had called me, or some of them were calling, getting called and letters from other people, and they were switching and going with someone else. Well, really surprised me, but You don't need to work with me, but you do need to work with a competent person. And almost 94% of those people got foreclosed. So it was very shocking to me, very, very shocking, and disappointing because I know the crowd of people out there are baiting homeowners into signing contracts, but they have no ability to get it done. They don't have the talent to negotiate it, and the people are getting foreclosed. Bad news. So I started trying to strategize, how do I deal with this problem? Because the public is getting screwed in all this, and I need to somehow cut this off. Now, on the investor side of things, there is a niche of work called wholesaling, right? That whole crowd, what they do is they go out to the public, they tie up in a contract, and they turn around and try to assign the contract to someone else. They blast it around to all the known investors. I get a ton of these things every single day from a whole bunch of different people, a whole network of people trying to sell off properties in the same situation. They tied up a contract and now they're trying to get someone else to pay them an assignment fee. And what that also tells you, if you're paying attention right now, is the investor who you signed a contract with has no intention of closing. They're just tying you up and marketing the contract to try to get paid a couple of $1,000s or something, and then they unload it and be done with it. Even then, these things blow up because what ends up happening is one investor puts it under contract, then they turn around and market it, and then they get another contract on it, and then they market it. You have sometimes 3 or 4 different people putting in contracts on these same property, and it's called a daisy chain. It's a nightmare because at the end of the day, even if it will get close to closing, all these people start fighting over each other, who's supposed to get what, and how it's going to happen. It's a disaster. It's a disaster. So I decided, okay, how do I deal with this? So Miami, I'm in Miami. We have one of the biggest investor clubs in Florida, maybe the country. And I know these people. I have a lot of credibility with them. They know me, I know them. So I had a sit-down meeting with them. And I said, we need to figure this out because you have an army of investors out there finding this stuff, contracting. And then we started talking shop a little bit, and they said, well, they tried to get something going and with the short sale niche, and they brought in all the top negotiators in South Florida in to work with them, testing out who was going to get things done. And they literally got 300 properties, short sale properties, under contract. And then they said, okay, well, let's try out all these top level negotiators. They had track records. They looked like they knew what they're doing. And in the end, out of 300, zero investors got paid a dime. Zero out of 300. And it's like, wow. I'm saying, damn, these guys are killing the market, killing it in a bad way, So the homeowners are getting screwed. They're getting tied up in situations that don't work, just running down the road with a bunch of people that think they can handle this. But short sale is already difficult. Now, when you're talking about investor short sale, you're adding 10 times level of complication. Very difficult. Why is that? Because once you get an approval, it's the name of one buyer. So you can't have another buyer. The bank won't allow it. They'll literally cancel the short sale and return all the funds. So you need the buyer approved. So this whole assignment idea doesn't work. And then a lot of times they have a deed restriction right on the deed that you can't resell the property. So, wow, a lot of people in the industry don't even realize this. So they sit there and just the shock hits them. The other problem is that if the investor doesn't get their price, they're not going to close. But they won't tell you, the homeowner, that. No. They'll just leave you in the dark while they're fighting to try to get their price all the way up to your auction. They said, and you lose the property while they're fighting on something that was never going to happen. Oof. That's terrible. The whole thing's terrible. It's like you have a bunch of people that are incompetent. You have an investor that's not getting their price. And the truth is, if they had enough experience, they would have known from the day one that they was never going to get the price. Could have known it from day one. But they don't have enough experience, so they didn't realize it. And they drove the homeowner straight into the auction. And that sucks, right? Because I'm here to protect the public and help the public. But a lot of investors really don't think like that. They're out there because of greed, trying to make a buck and make profits, and even to the extent of hurting the homeowners. Ugh, sucks, terrible. So like I said, I sat down with one of the bigger investment clubs in Florida, maybe the country. We worked out terms, and I said, okay, I'm gonna be your go-to person. They knew me. They knew this is my business. Before they got into this business, they knew I was already in this business doing this. So I already had the credibility. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna work it out with you guys. And you send me your people, And so I started like going in front of the crowd and explaining. Here we go. This is like one of the conferences I went to. So I started going there and explaining what I do, making life easy for them. Made life super easy for them. All they had to do was find the homeowners that were in distressed situations, and I was going to take care of everything, everything. So if I had to fund the property, if I had to fund the property, I did it. If I had to renovate it, well, I had a crew for that. I would renovate the property. If the property needed anything, permits, new roof, I've done it all. I've done a ton of remodeling, so they really had the whole thing covered. So no matter how it turned out, um, I could take care of it. All right. So here, let me show you this one here. Here's me training session. So I would be in front of the group, 500 people. And then the people that were interested, they would move on into a private meeting, and I would give them simple training, something they can do, and then they go on the field meeting homeowners, and whoever's interested, well, they would later on come back and tell me who that is, and then I would meet with those people and sign them up and start the ball rolling. The most important about this is the analysis up front. I don't know anyone else that knows how to do this. I analyze the situation to figure out how to take it from start to finish. And you need talent and experience to do that. If you don't have it, it's never going to work out because you're just not qualified to do it. And most people are not. So it was very successful for a while. I think I had a 100% closing rate with all those guys. And then at a certain point, greedy investors being greedy, they all started just going haywire and using my information, my marketing, my logo on their own business cards, literally trying to pretend to be me. And that's the concerning thing. It's like I'm making this video trying to help the public understand the difficulties of this work, the fact that very few people in Florida are qualified to do it. And if I put too much material out there, the investors who are clueless and scammers are going to use it against the public. And I don't want that. So I'm trying to create a little bit of a balance here of trying to alert you so you raise your guard and screen these people. Now, I'm qualified. I've been doing this for a long time. They've tried to learn from me. So if you're trying to look at someone else, you better make a long list of qualifications you think are needed. And believe me, whatever your list is, it's still short. And whatever that list is, as short as it is, very likely you're talking to someone that doesn't have those qualifications. It is what it is. So I'm going to remind you that with this closing agent that I use, a law firm, they work with a ton of investors. I'm going to play a quick short clip of him reminding you of his experience and how he just doesn't even deal with it. So watch this real quick. Just because people want to do a short sale as an investment deal doesn't mean they can actually do it. You actually need the talent and experience to get these things done.
And that's something like we avoid. I don't work with other investors on short sales, and the reason for that is that a lot of these deals might seem like a deal at the initial, on the onset of the deal, but in reality they're not. And that's where someone like Nathan really adds value, because he knows what a deal is and he knows how to make it work. And
so as you can see, Gus, who's run his closing department there, he's a law firm and does closings primarily with investors, will not touch investors in the distressed niche because they're clueless, they don't know how to do it. Greed is pushing them into scenarios they don't know how to handle, and then they don't want to bring anyone that actually knows what to do. And the whole thing blows up. So it's a total waste of time. So he just got away from it completely. All right, so you should keep that in mind because that's coming straight from a lawyer that does closings with investors. This is much more difficult than you realize. There are very few investors that have ever done this work and don't know how to do this work. And they'll go into something that never had a chance to work out to begin with. And they'll ride you right through the auction. And you'll sit there afterwards, after losing your house, just sitting there realizing you never had a shot. It was just pie in the sky optimism with zero qualification to get it done. Okay. So you see, I've done this a long time. I've gone in front of the investor groups. They know me. I've done the meetings. They know who I am. I've taken on investor partners. They find the properties and they would turn it over to me, and I'm going to show you a couple of videos. You can watch them through. These are people that actually teamed up, me investors. I'm not looking to get investors. I'm just showing you that this is legitimate. I actually was in front of the group, and some people actually, pursued the opportunity of working with me. First guy is AJ, really good guy. He ended up moving to South Carolina. The other one is Lewis. He made a pile of money with me, and then he started getting into buying properties and renovating, and I tried to talk him out of it. I talked him out of it, but I couldn't talk him out. I told him I didn't think it was a good idea because he was making money real easy, and all of a sudden he wanted to complicate it. And so once you buy a property, the problem is if you don't buy it at a good price, you can be stuck in that property for a year and lose money. Oh, well, what can I tell you? Some people would just rather go through the experience. And he had a good thing going. So I hope you enjoy these clips, and I'll talk to you soon. If you need my help, absolutely, give me a call, and I'll take care of you. Thanks. Some people call me the Short Sale King. I'm here with AJ and Zeke.
Hey, how's it going?
All right. AJ's a partner with me on this property right behind us. AJ found this house last year, and we were able to lock it in and negotiate the short sale. It took 6-7 months to get it negotiated and approved. Eventually got it closed. Then we had to get into the renovation part of it and put it on the market. AJ, let me ask you, you have any money at risk at this situation?
No.
You have any credit at risk at this?
Not at all.
Have you had to get on top of a roof and do any roof work?
No.
Did you break out a paintbrush?
No.
No, as easy as can be, huh?
Yeah.
I mean,
easy as picture.
how many times did you have to actually come to this property?
Once. Twice. Yeah,
Twice.
once or twice. Yeah.
Once or twice?
Yeah.
Wow, man, I wish I had someone helping me 20 years ago like this. In fact, I have great news. We had to get this property under contract a couple of times, but finally we got a solid buyer, and yesterday we had a closing.
Wow, nice.
Yesterday we had a closing, and I actually have AJ's check here.
Wow.
And so
Whoa, wow, that's unexpected.
This is the news today.
Wow,
so
excellent.
I'm gonna let AJ get his check and tell.
Thanks, man. Wow.
That's crazy.
Wow. Hey.
Isn't that crazy, isn't it?
Wow. Yeah.
So,
yeah. Great partner to be around, and thanks for the opportunity, Nathan. So once again, thank you, Nathan, for the opportunity. I appreciate it. Appreciate you and all your hard work.
Of course.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Hi everybody, I'm here with Lewis, and we just finished doing a deal here. Lewis found the deal, and it's gone very well. And I'd like to let Lewis speak about how it went.
Well, I found the deal and I gave it to Nathan. Nathan did phenomenal in getting the deal approved and sold. So I am a real person. I found an opportunity to do short sales with him, and it works.
So Lewis, you remember seeing me at a meeting, and
Yes.
I told everybody you can make money with no money, no credit, no risk, and I handle all the technicalities.
Exactly.
Is that how it went?
And that's how I went. The only thing I did is find the house and give the information to Nathan, and Nathan did the rest.
So as soon as I jumped on the deal, the next thing you're showing up with a big payday.
Exactly.
Well, today Lewis is going to get his check, and I got it right here. This is the first time he's seeing his check. So
That's been in suspense since it came.
So here you go, Lewis.
Oh my God. Wow.